I never thought the dry winds of Montana would carry me back to this place. But here I was, staring down the long gravel driveway of my family's old ranch in Billings. My name is Jamie Thompson, and for 18 years, I was the shadow in a house full of spotlights. Growing up on that sprawling property with its endless pastures and weathered barns, I learned early on that love was conditional, doled out like feed to the favored livestock. My older sister, Olivia, was the rodeo queen, all grace and grit, winning buckles and hearts at every county fair. My brother, Ethan, was the football hero, built like a brick wall, bringing home state championships that had Dad slapping his back like he'd won the lottery. And me, I was the odd one out, the bookworm with dreams bigger than the big sky itself. The ranch wasn't just home, it was the family empire. Dad, Robert Thompson, had built Thompson Construction from a single backhoe to a regional powerhouse, specializing in ranch builds and oil field infrastructure. Mom, Susan, handled the books and the home front, always with a smile that hid the steel underneath. But while Olivia preened for pageants and Ethan bulked up for scouts, I buried myself in science kits and library books, dreaming of engineering feats that could change the world. My straight-A report cards? They'd get a pat on the head. Maybe a good job, kid, before the conversation swung back to Olivia's latest win or Ethan's big game. It was like I was speaking a foreign language in my own house. The breaking point came in my senior year. I'd applied to Stanford on a whim. But when that acceptance letter arrived with a full ride for computer engineering, it felt like destiny. I remember bursting into the kitchen, envelope clutched like a lifeline. Mom, Dad, Stanford, full scholarship. Dad set down his coffee mug, his weathered face creasing. California? That's a long haul from here. Mom glanced up from her ledger. Honey, that's great. But we've got the new barn project starting. We need hands on deck. That night at dinner, as Ethan raved about his partial scholarship to Montana State for agriculture, my news got buried under talk of cattle prices and rodeo schedules. I pushed back. This is Stanford. Dad. It's my shot at something real. He leaned forward, calloused hands flat on the table. Real? What's real is family. Jamie. Sticking around. Pulling your weight. Olivia's getting engaged. Ethan's taking over ops someday. You're the smart one. We need you for the tech side, managing the software for bids and all. Mom chimed in, her voice soft but firm. We can't append everything for one person's fancy ideas. Who's going to help with the wedding? The books. Olivia rolled her eyes. Just stay. Jamie. It's not worth the drama. Ethan shrugged. Yeah. Some degree ain't everything. Their words hit like a stampede. I stood, chair scraping. I've given everything to this place. But you've never seen me. Not really. Dad's eyes narrowed. If you walk out for this pipe dream, don't come crawling back. We're done supporting quitters. Mom hesitated, but Dad cut her off. Susan, she's gotta learn. We've fed you, clothed you, given you a future here. I packed that night, a duffel with jeans, boots, my laptop, and Grandma's old turquoise ring, the one she'd given me before cancer took her. Chase the horizon. Jamie, she'd whispered. Don't let him clip your wings. As I headed for the door, Mom blocked me. Leave the truck keys. I tossed them on the hook and stepped into the starry night, 18 and untethered. The bus to Seattle cost me most of my savings from summer jobs herding cattle. I landed in the rainy city with $800, crashing on a cousin's couch until I found a shared apartment in a dingy building near the University District. Stanford deferred my enrollment for a year while I hustled for residency and funds. Job 1. Barista at a downtown coffee joint. 4 a.m. starts. Slinging lattes to tech bros who tipped like misers. Job 2. Evening shifts at a call center. Troubleshooting networks for frustrated folks. Earning just enough to eat ramen and pay rent. Weekends? Tutoring rich kids in math. Biting my tongue as they whined about homework I'd kill for. I scrimped like a frontiersman in winter, walking miles to save bus fare. Layering thrift store flannels against the chill. But nights were mine. Hunched over my laptop in that shoebox room, I dove into coding, free MIT courses, YouTube hacks.
Forum en cybersécurité.
It called to me, building digital fortresses in a world full of outlaws. 6 months in, I hit rock bottom. Fired from the coffee gig after flu kept me down.
Rent 2.
I sold a bug fix I'd coded for a banking app. $2,500. It bought time. And hope. Staring at my gaunt reflection, I whispered, "This ain't the end. It's the forge." A flyer for a free cybersecurity seminar at the University of Washington changed everything. I showed up in my best secondhand jacket, feeling like an intruder among the polished students. The speaker,
Dr. Elena Vasquez,
a sharp-minded Latina with a no-nonsense vibe, talked AI vulnerabilities like she was dissecting a steer. I cornered her after with a question on a flaw I'd spotted. "Self-taught?" she asked, eyeing my code. "Join my hackathon team." We crushed it. I spotted a social engineering weak spot that saved a mock company millions. That led to my first real gig at a Seattle startup. Junior analyst at $50,000. It was my foothold in the mountains. Those early years at Nexus Shield were a grind, but they sculpted me like wind-erode sandstone. I climbed from analyst to lead developer, salary hitting $110,000. But I was still riding someone else's wagon train.
Nights.
I'd sketch ideas for my own venture, AI-driven security that anticipated threats like a rancher reads storm clouds. The spark hit during a client breach. A major oil firm lost data because their systems couldn't adapt to evolving hacks. I saw the gap. Adaptive shields for the digital frontier. I quit at 24. Bootstrapping Aegis Frontier from my one-bedroom in Bellevue. Poured savings into servers. Coded 18-hour days. Fueled by black coffee and determination. First client, a small Montana bank I'd tutored for back home. They paid peanuts, but word spread. By year 2, venture capital knocked, Silicon Valley types flying up, dazzled by my demos. I took $2 million seed. Relocated to Denver for the tech scene's fresh air and lower costs. Colorado felt right. Mountains reminding me of home. But with opportunities altitude. Growth exploded. Aegis secured pipelines. Ranches. Even government contracts. By 28. We went public. Valuation hitting billions. I bought a spread outside Denver. 500 acres with a modern ranch house, solar panels, and a view that stretched forever. Forbes called me the cybersecurity cowgirl. Time featured me as a self-made icon. But success was a double-edged blade. It sharpened old wounds. I tracked the family online, Dad's business struggling with oil downturns, Olivia's messy divorce, Ethan's gambling debts racking up. They posted family pics. Always our perfect duo, like I'd never existed. 16 years after that door slammed,
My phone rang.
Unknown Montana number. Jamie?
It's Mom.
Her voice cracked like dry earth.
We
need to talk. They showed up 2 weeks later, pulling into my driveway in a battered pickup.
Dad.
Grayer and stooped, Mom. Lines etched deep. Olivia. Makeup hiding exhaustion. Ethan. eyes shadowed. And 2 kids, my niece and nephew, wide-eyed at the sprawling estate. I met them at the gate, arms crossed. "What brings y'all here?" Dad cleared his throat. "You've done well, Jamie. Real well." Olivia jumped in. "We saw the articles. Congrats." The kids tugged at her. "Aunt Jamie, is this your castle?" I knelt. "Something like that."
Sprouts.
"Go check the stables, my foreman has ponies." As the kids scampered off, tension thickened like a dust storm. We sat in the great room, logs crackling in the stone fireplace, Rockies framing the windows. "Cut to the chase," I said. Dad sighed. "Business is tanking. Oil crash. Bad loans, we're months from bankruptcy. House in foreclosure. Olivia's ex cleaned her out in court. Ethan's got issues." Mom teared up. "We can't afford my meds." The kids. I leaned back. "And you thought of me now?" After radio silence, Ethan shifted. "We messed up. Okay, but blood's blood." Olivia nodded. "You're loaded. Help us out." I pulled up files on my tablet. Years of prep. "I've watched y'all. The cruises while debts piled. Olivia's spa days. Ethan's Vegas trips. Dad's golf memberships. They paled." "How? Cybersecurity? Remember? Y'all's privacy settings are wider than a barn door." Mom whispered. "We were wrong, Jamie. So wrong." Dad met my eyes. "I was a fool. Throwing you out like that." But it rang hollow, laced with desperation. I showed them the house, the awards wall, the tech lab, the life they'd discarded. This could have been ours to share. Back in the room, I laid it out. "You erased me. Posts about our 2 stars, like I was vapor. Screenshots flashed, family events, cruel comments. You called me selfish for dreaming." Ethan exploded. "We get it. We're sorry." Olivia sneered. "You win." "Happy," Mom sobbed. "Please, for the kids." I paused, heart pounding. Revenge simmered. But something Grandma said echoed. "Holding grudges poisons your well. Stay the night in the guest wing. We'll talk tomorrow." Hope flickered in their eyes. That night, I paced the porch, stars mocking me. Victory felt empty as a dry creek. Morning brought my lawyer's docs, not a bailout. A structured plan. Full disclosure. Therapy mandates. Jobs earned. I'd buy the business. Save the ranch. But on terms. Education trusts for the kids. No free rides. They signed. Humbled. It wasn't forgiveness yet, but a bridge. The restructure kicked off like a controlled burn, necessary. Painful, but clearing deadwood for new growth. I flew to Billings, Aegis team in tow, auditing Thompson Construction. Debts totaled $2.8 million. Bad investments in fracking. Ethan's loans from shady lenders. Olivia's alimony battles lost in court. Lawfully, we filed for Chapter 11 reorganization. Not liquidation, clear. Above board. No shady deals like the old days when Dad skimmed bids. Back in Denver. Family therapy started via video, a neutral counselor in Bozeman. Sessions raw as skinned knees. First one, Dad admitted. "I saw Jamie's fire and feared it'd burn our legacy. Easier to snuff it." Mom confessed. "You were like me, Jamie, ambitious. I settled for ranch life. Seeing you sore stung." Olivia broke. "I was jealous. You escaped the small town trap." Ethan grunted. "I gambled to prove I was the man, but it buried us. I shared my scars, the hunger, the doubt. the nights coding through tears. You made me feel worthless. Tears flowed, walls cracked. On site, I revamped ops. AI from Aegis optimized bids. Secure data against hacks common in construction. Ethan, sober now through mandated AA, excelled in logistics. Turns out he had a knack for routes, not just rushes. Olivia handled HR, learning empathy from managing crews she'd once dismissed. Dad consulted on builds.
Ego checked.
Mom digitized books. Her health stabilized with insurance, I added. But drama simmered. One board meeting, Olivia snapped. You're lording this over us. I countered. I'm saving what you wrecked. Earn it. Ethan relapsed once. Blowing a deadline, I docked pay. Per contract, legal.
Fair.
He shaped up. Kids visited Denver summers. Niece Lily riding horses. Nephew Cody geeking on my drones. You're like a superhero. Aunt Jamie, Cody said. It thawed the ice. A year in, profits turned, new contracts for wind farms. Green pivot I pushed. Family dinner at the old ranch. Tense, but real. Dad raised a glass. To Jamie, the one who saw further. Mom slipped me old photos. Me on my first pony. Science fair blue ribbon.
Eid ink.
Ashamed, but proud. Deep down, I hugged her, first in decades. Not healed, but mending. Personal growth hit. My therapist noted, revenge was your armor. Now try vulnerability. I dated a kind engineer, Alex, who saw my strength without the spite. Aegis expanded, branches in Texas, Wyoming. I founded the Frontier Fund, scholarships for overlooked kids in rural West. Therapy access.
Codinco.
No one's dream should die on the vine, I told donors. Yet flashbacks haunted that slammed door. Bus ride into unknown. One night, storm raging. Ethan called. Truck spun out, need bail. Old anger flared. But I wired funds. With strings, more therapy. We're family, he said. Flawed, but trying. It clicked, the lesson. Grace isn't weakness, it's the ultimate power. 2 years post-reunion. The ranch hummed with new life. We'd diversified. Eco-builds. Solar installs. Even a tech hub for remote workers. Profits cleared debts. The foreclosure ghost vanished. Legally airtight, trusts protected assets. Non-competes kept family accountable. But the real shift was human. Dad retired gracefully. Mentoring Ethan. Mom gardened. Her heart meds covered. Olivia remarried. A steady contractor. Her humility won hearts. Drama peaked at a family retreat I mandated, a cabin in the Rockies. Around the fire, truths poured. I was scared you'd outshine us, Olivia admitted. Ethan confessed. Gambling filled the void of feeling second best. I shared. Your rejection forged me, but it nearly broke me. Dad wept. Pride blinded me. You're the legacy I dreamed of. Mom held my hand. We love you, Jamie. Always did. Badly shown. Forgiveness bloomed. Not instant, but seeded. Back home, Aegis hit unicorn status. I spoke at TED. From outcast to outlier, the West's wild code. But success felt fuller shared. Kids' trusts funded college dreams. Lily eyeing vet school. Cody coding like me. I visited Billings often, teaching them ranch hacks with tech twists. One crisis tested us, a hack on our systems. Ethan's quick alert saved data. Learned from the best, he grinned. Pride swelled, not revenge's echo, but genuine. Alex proposed on the porch. Build with me. I said yes. Inviting family. Wedding in Montana. Simple. Under stars. Dad walked me down, whispering, proudest day. The lesson crystallized. Holding pain chains you. Releasing it frees. Family isn't perfect. It's persistent effort. 5 years on. The Thompson legacy thrives, a blend of grit and innovation.
I'm CEO.
But delegate. Focusing on philanthropy. The Frontier Fund has helped thousands, rural kids coding in barns, therapy vans touring the West. Personal life blooms. Alex and I have twins. Ranch echoing with laughter. Family gatherings are warm. Scars faded to stories. Reflecting on that gate confrontation, I see the pivot, choosing mercy over malice. They begged. Desperate. I offered a ladder, not a handout. The article? Healing through structure. Dad's final words before passing. You taught us grace. Mom lives on the ranch. Spoiling grandkids. I've learned. Revenge corrodes. Forgiveness rebuilds. In the American West's vastness, there's room for second chances. My name is Jamie Thompson. From ghost to guardian, I found my true home, not in walls, but in hearts mended.